to start with a blank page first. Okay, so right now, if you remember correctly, okay, starting with this blank page, let's do fourths like we just did because I want to show you how what we've been doing, we're going to start doing in our heads. So if I'm showing equivalent fractions to 1/4 here, I would start out by writing 1/4 equals, and then I have a little multiplication problem I'm going to write, correct? Now what do you want to take this times? 2? Okay. So if I take it times 2, my answer is going to be 2/8, correct? Yes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Starting right now, today, this moment in time, we're only going to write what we multiplied it by. We get to skip all this drawing and all the other writing, okay? So I'm going to show you what this problem would look like if you ran across it on the paper we're getting ready to do. It would say 1/4 equals, and then it would say blank eighths. Now, you've got to figure out what goes in the blank by noticing what happens to the 4 to make it an 8. Well, I think it was times 2, wasn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to switch to pink here so you can kind of see that I have to take the top and the bottom times 2. And 1 times 2 equals 2, so that gives me 2/8 like I just had. Now let's try a couple more, okay? Now I got to think carefully about this. 1/4 equals, now don't shout out any answers, but think to yourself, 4 times something equals 16. I'm going to post it. Brandon. 4 times something equals 16. What is it? And do you remember last week I told you whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top? And so I would take, whoops, wrong color. I would take the 1 and multiply it times the 4, and I would get 4/16. Okay? You want a harder one? You want a harder one? Yes, okay, don't shout it out. Now, I'm going to let you raise your hand if you know this answer. So what I'm thinking in my mind is 4 times something equals 100. Now, I can give you a hint. Should we give them a hint? Think of money. Hudson, what do you think needs to go here? Well, 4 times 8 is only 32.
Oh, wait, no, not 8.
Think of money.
15.
You're getting closer.
60?
Think of a quarter. 25. Now, how many of you were going to say 25? Okay. So 1 times 25 is 25. So my answer to 1/4 would be 25 hundredths. Pretty cool, isn't it? So let's look at this. This is just a screenshot from my teacher book, okay? Now, if you remember correctly, the only thing we're going to write from all that stuff we've been writing was what? The numbers in the middle, okay? So I'm going to take turns. You're going to take turns. I'm going to pull sticks. So Isamar, 2 times something equals 4. What is it? 2. So you don't have to write my circle. But I want you for now to write times 2 on the top and bottom. So we'll take the numerator times 2 to get our answer. Does that make sense? Is 2/4 the same as 1/2? Okay. So a lot of these are going to show going to show half. So next person, Ruby, 2 times something equals 6. 3. So everybody write it. Now when we get to the sprint, I'm not going to make you write it. And then I'm going to take my numerator 1 times 3 to get my answer. Okay, David? How about 3 times something equals 6? 2. So I'll take 1 times 2. So that means 1/3 and 2/6 are equivalent. Okay, now this one's different. The numerator is not a 1. So, Alexis, 3 times something equals 6. So 2 times 2 equals 4. And I know you might not be able to fit the number in the box, but just do the best you can. Okay? Here we go. Hudson. 3 times something equals 12. 4. So 2 times 4 equals, was he getting ahead of me? He told me the answer, didn't he? Okay, so just for this activity, please write the numbers down so you have a strategy for when it gets too hard. Okay? All right, so this one, sit lolly. 4 times something equals 16. You're close. Is that right, boys and girls? So my answer would be 3 times 4, which is 12. So one way to look at this, you could do 4 times something equals 16 like this, and then think about what would go in the box. All right, the next one is Emily. 5 times something equals 25. Good. So 3 times 5 is 15. Thanks for being brave to help me with my recording today. Zadie, how are these different, boys and girls, from the top? Yeah, the boxes are on the denominator, aren't they? Okay, so it's going to be a little different. So Zadie, I'm going to talk you through this. 1 times something equals 2. So then you apply that to the bottom. So we've got 2/4. Okay, the next one, JJ. 1 times something equals 2.
2.
So 5 times 2 equals
2. Or 10.
10. Okay, the next one, Isaac. 2 times something equals 8. Okay, so 5 times 4 equals
20.
Good. And this is a point where I would rather you didn't work ahead because you might miss something I say. And that's more important than what you're writing right now. Okay, the next person, Diamine. 3 times something equals 9. So 4 times 3 equals 12. Good. And one more, it is Lauren. 4 times something equals 16. 4. So 5 times 4 equals 20. Now, this is great. We can do this, can't we?
Yes.
What would happen if we divided instead? So I'm going to show you what that might look like, okay? Can I borrow your Sprint real quick? So I'm going to give you an example from your Sprint. It has 2 tenths, and then it shows equals 1, and then there's nothing there. Okay? Now just look at the board. Don't worry about finding that one on your Sprint. Okay? So now I'm going to divide. Are you with me? 2 divided by 2 equals 1, right? So what's 10 divided by 2? 5. Let me show you another one. How about this one? Oh, goodness. So what do I have to look at? I have to look at the 10 and the 5, don't I? Okay? 10 divided by something equals 5. So 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Let's try another one. Okay, so I have to look at the 3 and the 1. 3 divided by something equals 1. What is it? So 12 divided by 3 equals, okay. So let's go ahead and look at the Sprint. So on the Sprint, I wanted to show you that from 14 down to 22, I believe. 14 to 22 are division. So can you circle those so you'll know when the division starts, please? Now, it's exactly like we just did. You just don't have as much room to write, do you? So when I'm writing this, instead of writing 2 times 2 equals 4, it's kind of hard to do that. So I might just write a times 2 out to the side, and that way my thought won't be interrupted. So if I do 2 times 2 equals 4, 1 times 2 equals, you can write it there or you can write it here. I don't care where you write it, okay? So I'm just going to give you 3 minutes. Okay, let's get ready to grade this. Side A, 2, 10, 4, 6, 8, 6, 4, 9, 6, 2, 6, 12, 12, 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay, number 23. 4, 8, 2, 4, 15, 35, 4. Go down to the bottom. Don't copy off of my answers. I'm on number 30. 4, 42, 8, 9, 40, 54, 5, 56, 4, 7, 9, 72, 84, 5, 6. Okay, answers for side B. 10, 4, 6, 8, 6, 2, 6, 3, 9, 8, 8, 3, 9, 2, 1, 1, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 4. Okay, number 23. 12, 12, 3, 3, 25, 28, 3, 5, 35, 9, 8, 64, 45, 9, 48, 9, 1, 5, 12, 36, 4, 7.